Oh, Morris, I'm overjoyed that you're finally retired and now we can enjoy our golden years together.
Golden years? That makes me think of a blinding sun perched on the brink of a sunset before it sinks below the horizon. I am decidedly not ready to sink below the horizon, Cynthia.
All right, Morris. No horizon sinking. But let's face it, we're not kids. We're part of the boomer generation.
I hate that preposterous term, boomers. Every time I hear that word, I think of a large group of people our age passing gas. Why don't they just call us the flatulence generation?
I think you're overreacting, dear. The boom stands for the increase in the number of children born after World War II veterans returned home. Surely you know that.
And WW2 was considered a staggeringly long case of coitus interruptus.
Well, I would imagine that's the first way people thought of it. But you have a point, Morris.
So they might have called us the absence of intercourse generation, or more in keeping with the popular vernacular, the welcome home screw generation.
Oh my God, Morris. My God, every time you get riled up about something, you completely forget everything I've attempted to impart to you about grace and decorum. And your mouth, it reverts back to your Brighton Beach roots. Oh,
Don't forget that many a truth has come from the mouth of a Brooklynite, including yours, my Benson Heist beauty.
Morris, how many times do I have to remind you that I don't want you to bring up my Brooklyn origins? Do you remember how the chairperson at the Beaux-Arts charity ball stared at me when you mentioned Bensonhurst at the planning committee session?
And perhaps you remember how she pretended not to hear me when I told her I'd be happy to stick a road map of Brooklyn up her royal patootie if it would make her more familiar with our native borough.
I suppose that was your way of defending me, wasn't it?
I won't allow anyone to look down their turned up nose at you, especially since you're twice the woman she could ever hope to be.
Aw, my knight on a white horse.
Well, more like a Ford Mustang.
Ride 'em, cowboy.
If that's an offer, I think I'll take you up on it.
Well, I just so happen that I've got 2 hours open on my schedule. Care to walk me back to the bunkhouse, honey?
2 hours, Cynthia? I'm afraid that might be a little optimistic about my endurance at this stage.
I know, darling, but that's a half hour for the act and an hour and a half for the nap that follows.
First, my darling, let me dim the lights to better conceal the reality of my sagging flesh. I'll be right. Wait, wait. That's it. That's it. Silly Putty.
Excuse me, Morris? What was that?
It just came to me. Silly Putty. It's perfect.
Does this have anything at all to do with the romantic interlude that we were about to begin?
It has to do with everything. Tell me, Cynthia. Describe Silly Putty to me.
Oh gosh, I hope this isn't going to be a case of silly putty interruptus. All right, I'll indulge you for a moment. It's soft and pliable, and
The perfect place to start. And it's the very antithesis of rigid and unyielding. Its very shape in a state of flux as it responds to its environment.
Morris, we're talking about a crappy little piece of clay here.
And of course you must recall its other rather amazing characteristic.
Do you mean the way it gets underneath your fingernails and it won't come out?
If I didn't love you, I wouldn't be so patient with you, my dear. I meant the way you can press silly putty on a picture, and the picture will be imprinted on the silly putty. It absorbs what it comes in contact with.
Oh, truly fascinating, Morris. But if you're hinting, no, I would not like silly putty for our anniversary present this year.
And let's not forget that it comes enclosed in a little plastic egg-shaped container. Thus, it's able to withstand the vicissitudes of modern existence while still offering the option of mobility when desired.
Morris, have you stopped taking your medication?
Cynthia, don't you see it? Silly putty is the perfect metaphor for all I intend to be in my retirement. Open to all experiences, not afraid to adapt and absorb new stimuli. Forget about that ridiculous boomer label. We're at the threshold of a new frontier. Take my hand, Cynthia, and joyfully join me in becoming the founding fathers of the silly putty generation.
I'll start shopping for my powdered wig in the morning. But for now, can you turn the light down and get over here with that sagging flesh of yours?
Of course, my dear. You know I'm silly putty in your hands.